I'm Betty and this is another episode of The Final Say. Over the past few weeks on The Final Say, we have been looking at issues pertaining to couples and marriages. But today we want to focus on an issue that comes before marriage. We want to focus on courtship. So we want to go into the streets to find out people's opinions on the length of a courtship. We also want to find out what is expected of a couple in a courtship. And we are going into the streets now. So how long do you think a courtship should last?
Well, to marriage, I guess.
To marriage, like how long? Give a number.
Maybe like 2 years.
Anything more than a year is unnecessary things we enter. You know, you start seeing each other's faults.
Courtship normally get boring. At times, if it's too long, you just feel like, why am I in this relationship? Why? Because it's too long. Most of you, but if it is 2 years, you want to go, go to your marriage, just settle down.
What do you think is expected of a man and a woman in a courtship? What do you think they should do? What are the features of a courtship?
Oh, they need to get to know each other very well.
Okay.
So that when you get married, you will not be having problems.
Secondly, you need to understand each other. Third, you need to be faithful to each other. When you understand the person you are dating, you will be able to cope with anything that he or she does.
When you're courting someone, you should be able to tell the person everything. Be able to bear your plans for future with the person and things like that.
Your bed should be left undefiled. Like, that means you should not touch each other. That means no sex. So, if there are other things you can do in courtship, like buying her gifts, she reciprocating it, you take her out without going against the rules of the Bible. You can do all that.
Well, even if I'm not a Christian, it's not ideal. Sex is more than, even if you just want to look at it logically, it involves a lot more than you just saying, physical pleasure and all of that. Most times there's always this attachment that happen, occurs between people that have sex, like soul ties and all that. It's harder to let go of someone when you've had sex with the person.
Courtship is not a platform to run sex, to test if either party is active in bed.
Oh, if it's someone I want to spend the rest of my life with, I don't really see a problem with it.
That's one. Some may say they should, but to me personally, I think that is where trust comes in. If he doesn't satisfy you, if you marry, he will not be satisfied.
You should pack his load and go now. if he doesn't believe in my values, then we are not going the same way. Marriage is for people that are going the same way. You believe what I believe. Like, we should see life from the same perspective as I do.
So, if you ask me, dating should be to one person at a time, and during that one time, you make sure that you keep a good conscience in your relationship and do not make it more than 2 or 3 outings before you eventually make up your mind as to whether you want to go into courtship. Talking about the length of courtship, I would suggest that courtship must not be too long, neither must it be too short. I believe, and this is just a suggestion, you do not find scriptures for it, courtship should not be shorter than 6 months. 6 months during which, of course, you are all eyes. This is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. So 6 months for those who are kind of in a hurry because they've waited so long, but maximum of 1 year also. There are certain things you want to be sure. 1, the person's spiritual state. 2, you want to know about the person's vision for the future. What are they planning? What is their thinking? And during which, of course, you talk about their background. Because people's background seems to show up in their future too. The person's persona, who the person really is what you try to discover during this period. As much as you can and as much as God will open your eyes to. Like I see sometimes some couples are very, very, they really don't have any vision at all going into the marriage. It is easy to see that during courtship. You cannot know everything, but I think in 6 months, if you really already have a plan, you can get at the roots. Talk about deception. I read of some story recently where a lady found out that the guy she was dating, or she was going to get married to, it was at the wedding service. She found out that it was not a Chevron staff. But how can you call somebody, even for 6 months? One, if you are in a good church, your church must have organized some kind of counseling. Your youth group should have such kind of things where they will have taught you about such deceptions. If a guy says he's working at Chevron, in 6 months you'll be able to find out. It should not be more than one. It should not be more than 1 year, in my view, except there are other circumstances that are affecting that decision. Maybe you don't have a job, or maybe you don't have a house of your own, and you're just trying to get a house and all that. But within 1 year, sort it out, because after 1 year, temptations will come. No how. The two of you love each other. In fact, temptation will come almost from the first day. But you know, you can ward it off for so long. After some time, you're likely to break. And once you allow yourself to start doing things you should not do during courtship, you're eroding the foundation of the relationship. So what you do is don't create atmospheres where the two of you will be alone. I discourage it, and I tell people, don't go and sleep over at a guy's house. If it's your parents' home, good parents will even discourage it. And I think all those who encourage those things don't know the evil, that the evil seed it sows in the relationship. So I will encourage that you make sure that you keep each other pure, and put your hands in your pockets while you are dating. Create the right atmosphere. Do not make occasion for the flesh to fulfill its lusts. What you're going to eat for the rest of your life, don't finish it all in a short time, and expect that the marriage will last for as long as it should.
And that's the final say. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Until next time, I'm Betty.